Joining me live for more on this is Josh Hasten, Middle East expert and Middle East correspondent for JNS. Thank you for your time this morning. This is obviously long-awaited news for so many. It's been more than 400 days since this latest conflict started. How will this all play out on Sunday if the ceasefire agreement goes ahead?
So the latest I heard is that Israel is sending a team down to Egypt tomorrow in order to prepare. And as you mentioned before, yes, Israel's security cabinet and the full cabinet still has to approve of the deal. And those meetings will probably last until Saturday night. And then we might see movement either Sunday or perhaps even on Monday, which actually is Inauguration Day in the United States. So it may take until Monday, but it looks like at this point, all things are moving forward in terms of the deal. Israel will be releasing, it looks like 1,700 terrorists, including some who are serving life sentences, in exchange for 33 Israeli hostages. It is reported that 23 are alive. And the other 10, unfortunately, were murdered by Hamas. So that's where things stand at this hour.
And obviously, there was a delay in Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with his cabinet. What caused that delay, and what will those talks actually look like over the coming days?
Yeah, so the Israeli government said that Hamas, at the last minute, which is not unexpected, started adding extra terms to the deal. They wanted a veto power over the terrorists who Israel was going to release. And the prime minister said no to that. So that caused the delay. Let's remember, Hamas has rejected every deal all the way back to last May in terms of coming to an agreement and coming to a ceasefire. So it's not unexpected. Hamas, obviously a terrorist organization holding more than 100 Israelis in the pits of hell, the dungeons of Gaza, over the last 460 plus days. But it does, again, at this point, it looks like things are moving forward. And nothing officially, by the way. The prime minister most likely will address the nation, I would guess, either Saturday night or Sunday, in order to give the exact specifications. A lot of different rumors in terms of the actual deal itself. But while we heard from the Qataris, we heard from other parties, Arab sources, the state of Israel has not officially put out exactly the terms of the deal. So I expect that order either Saturday night during prime time or perhaps on Sunday, the prime minister of the state of Israel will address the nation, and we will be given exactly what the deal states.
And Josh, as you mentioned, Hamas has rejected every other deal put forward. What do you think is different about this? Why do you think they will agree to this ceasefire deal?
I definitely think the tough talk of incoming President-elect Donald Trump played a role in the fact that now Israel and Hamas are coming to an agreement. He threatened that he would unleash hell on the Middle East if an agreement wasn't reached, if the hostages weren't released before he became the president officially this Monday. So I think there's a lot of influence there. This is the Middle East where strength wins out and weakness is stomped upon. So President Trump showing strength, issuing the ultimatum. And again, whether you think this is a good deal or bad deal, and you have Israelis on both sides of the fence there, obviously everybody wants the hostages to come back. But again, it's a very high price, 1,700 terrorists, including over 200 or 300 who are, again, convicted murderers with blood on their hands. So, but that being said, whether you're for or against, the president understands the region. He understands what showing strength does, whether people like him or not in this part of the world. Strength wins out all the time in this region.
And they've said the ceasefire would be conducted in a staged approach, with women and children and the vulnerable released first. Could you further explain for our viewers how the remaining stages would actually look like?
So yeah, so the first stage, again, it would be kind of a trickled out effect there in terms of the number of hostages, several hostages released at a certain point during the 42-day period, totaling 33. Unfortunately, some of those we're talking about bodies, from what I understand, of hostages, according to different sources. So that would be the first stage. And then if we get that far and everything is quiet, more or less, then we would move into the second stage, which could be more of an IDF pullout, talking about a potential end to the war. Let's remember, you mentioned it before, you do have some Israeli government ministers who are strongly opposed to any type of deal at this point, which would leave, and the agreement does leave, unfortunately, hostages remaining in Gaza. If only 33 come out, you can do the math, about 50, 60 would still be remaining in Gaza. So you have government officials opposed to that. So they would then be in line to be released if it does get to that second phase. So it all remains to be seen how the first phase goes. Again, Hamas always thwarting any type of agreement, any type of normalization with Israel along the way. So this first phase is critical if, in fact, it's going to move to that second phase.
Yep, certainly an escalating situation. We hope that there can be some agreement reached come Sunday. Thank you so much for your time today, Josh.
Thanks so much.
To other news now, and firefighters in Los Angeles are